Thank you. And this is an exciting day, truly. First to Mr. Rick Cotton, who has had a vision and persistence and capacity. Let's give him a big round of applause. To George McDonald and the members of the Port Authority Board who have come to this agreement and worked out a comprehensive plan for the entire region. I thank them, and I thank them for their help for New York. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Gary LaBarbera, who's head of the Building Trades Council, who says he's going to get it done even faster than the Port Authority predicts. Gary LaBarbera. Mario Salento, who's president of the AFL-CIO. President, pleasure to be with you, Mario. Let's give him a round of applause. We have Jeff Wilpon. This connection will go right to Willets Field, so it'll be right by the stadium, and I think it's going to enhance not just the stadium, but the whole Willets Point area, because it'll have direct access to the airport. And I don't know if you noticed, Jeff, but on the picture that said Willets Point, the seamless station, there was a little sign in the background that said, "Let's go Mets." Shameless promotion by New York. I want to thank Nili Rosick for being here on behalf of the New York State Assembly. This was passed by the legislature just last week. It was essential to get this plan going, and the legislature delivered. So let's give Nili Rosick and the legislature a round of applause. And we're going to hear from Mitchell Moss from the Rudin Transportation Center, who's going to put it all in context. Thank you for being with us, Mitchell Moss. Not yet. He is raring to go at that point. Let me just say a couple of words, and then let me take a step back on all of this. What made New York, New York? What made New York City, New York City? What made New York State, New York State? We didn't just happen to become the greatest city and the greatest state in the country and on the globe. It wasn't coincidence, it wasn't circumstance, it wasn't a matter of evolution. It was a matter of ambition and drive and daring and capacity, and we built this place. It is what we built. And we were born from some really bold and visionary founding fathers. Everything we did was the first, was the greatest, was impossible. All the infrastructure you see, 600-mile subway system. How can you do that? We did. George Washington Bridge, Verrazano Bridge, Holland Tunnel, longest tunnel without ventilation. All the things we did were firsts. And we made this place New York. LaGuardia Airport, Fiorello LaGuardia in 1939. It was visionary that he would build an airport. And New York led the nation, but the nation led the world. And that's what made America, America, and made New York, New York. Somewhere along the way, we lost that drive. We lost that confidence. Ask yourself, what was the last major innovation that New York did? This country hasn't built an airport in 20 years. How amazing is that? Airports are the new front doors to economies. You fly all around the world, one airport greater than the next, this phenomenal competition, and we haven't built an airport in 20 years. We've lost that competitive edge. President Trump in the campaign talked about a $1.5 trillion infrastructure program. And I said, great. He's a builder, he's a developer, he's a New Yorker, he gets it, he understands that we are in a national crisis when it comes to transportation and infrastructure. Great. The $1.5 trillion infrastructure program somehow went away, and they spent the money on the tax cut instead, and now the $1.5 trillion infrastructure is down to $200 billion over years, okay? To put the $200 billion in focus, New York itself is doing a $100 billion infrastructure program. Because what we're trying to do is make up for literally 70, 80 years of disinvestment. Not only have we not built anything new, not only have there been no new innovations, we haven't even maintained what we had. And that is a sad commentary, frankly, on this generation's leadership. We were given this great legacy by our forefathers, and we haven't advanced it. We haven't even maintained it. So what we're trying to do now is make up for 70 years of apathy and inaction. Today we're talking about the LaGuardia Air Train, which in and of itself is a very, very important piece. How can you not have a rail train to the city from a New York airport? I mean, it's just incomprehensible, right? So this component in and of itself is very important. But I want to make sure that we take a step back and rather than just focus on all the individual components, we didn't design a plan of components. We designed a new transportation network. And these are components within that network. And it's a comprehensive network for air, cars, vehicles, and for our rail system. When it comes to airports, we start with Republic Airport on Long Island, Stewart Airport in the Mid-Hudson, which we believe can do more business, take more traffic, and reduce the demand on the New York City airports, which have a very high volume. A new JFK airport, $10 billion, that is being master planned right now. We have the air train that we just discussed, a new LaGuardia airport, which is $8 billion and is going to be phenomenal. And it's not just downstate, Mid-Hudson, Long Island. We're building new airports all across the state. Elmira Corning, Ithaca, Syracuse, Rochester, Plattsburgh, all new airports. The entire state is getting new airports or significantly rehabilitated airports to create a new front door, because it really is about the airports. When it comes to vehicular traffic, we're replacing key crossings that were long overdue. Governor Mario Cuomo Bridge, the old Tappan Zee Bridge, Queens Midtown Tunnel is being all redone. I don't know if you see it when you're going through. Kosciuszko Bridge is the way I pronounce it. It's a great debate, but I'm sticking with Kosciuszko. Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, Gothel's Bridge, cashless tolling that is in place citywide, which is saving hundreds of hours. It's better for the environment. It's saving time. It's up. It's working. It was done well, and it was done quickly. And then we've proposed a congestion pricing plan, which is going to be a priority next year, because on top of all of it, we have to reduce volume and congestion in the city. It's not just about the resources from congestion pricing. We can't handle the volume. The rail system has to be advanced because we can't handle the vehicular volume. New York City buses can't even move, and congestion pricing is part of that. And then our rail system starts coming from Long Island with a new Long Island Railroad, $6 billion renovation. New second track, new third track, 39 stations are going to be overhauled. So what do you mean by second track, third track? When you hear the morning traffic report and they say there are delays on the Long Island Railroad because there's a delay on the track, they mean literally the track. There are places on the Long Island Railroad where there is a single track, believe it or not. And God forbid a squirrel walks onto the track and has a heart attack, everything stops. Phil Eng has to get in his car, go out. Before they can move the squirrel, they have to have a full crisis review of what happened to the squirrel. We need redundancy of tracks. So we're going to have a second track and we're going to have a third track. And we have an entire new fleet of cars coming in for the Long Island Railroad. That's all approved. That's happening. They come in not to the decrepit Penn Station. They're going to come into a new Moynihan train hall, which is right across the street, which is going to be extraordinary. And it is going to be the exact opposite of what Penn is now. It's going to be retail. It's going to be state-of-the-art. It's under construction. And we're going to go back and renovate Penn Station also. And then the New York City subway system, the MTA, we have an emergency action plan that is in place for $864 million. The legislature had New York City fund the plan, so that ended a one-year delay. And then we have a $33 billion MTA capital plan, which is the largest single investment in the MTA that we will have made. But when you ignore it for 70 years, and when it comes to a budget negotiation, the first thing that always goes is maintenance and repairs, we're now paying the price. You have a 100-year-old system. You have 100-year-old electric switches in the subway system. You have 40-year-old cars in the subway system. We haven't wanted to make the investment. We now learn the hard way, and now we have to get that investment done. So it's air system, new airports, new rail, and an improved vehicular traffic system. And it all works together. If the mass transit is better, people will get out of their cars and will get into mass transit. Congestion pricing will actually provide incentives for people to get into mass transit. And then airports are everything. Even upstate New York, people are flying in. We're competitive in upstate New York, but you have to be able to get there. And you have to be able to get there quickly and efficiently and effectively, and that's what the airport systems are all about. The last piece is now just doing it. And I'll pick up on what Executive Director Cotton said. When he told his friends he was building a new LaGuardia airport, they said, yeah. There is a level of distrust of government, a level of apathy about what we can do that is self-defeating. You know, when you think back, all those great successes, Brooklyn Bridge, all these firsts, Erie Canal, engineering marvel, there was a confidence in us. There was a confidence in government. There was a confidence in society that we could get something done. Well, they never built a bridge that long before. Yeah, I know, but we can because we're New York. And that fueled the growth. That enabled the growth. That facilitated the growth. Even when the public was cynical. Governor Clinton talked about the Erie Canal. They moved for his impeachment because they thought it was madness, literally. But successive generations came in and said, I know it sounds bold, I know it sounds daring, I know we can. We're now in the exact opposite position. We say we're going to build a LaGuardia airport, and they say it's never going to happen. Government is incompetent, it's inefficient, it's ineffective, it's going to take them twice as long, it's going to be twice as expensive. I believe it. And that disbelief in our capacity is disabling. Because if the public doesn't believe you're going to do it, they're not going to give you the support to do it. What's the antidote? Prove them wrong. Prove competence. Prove success. We're going to build a new Tappan Zee Bridge. Yeah, you said that for 20 years. No, I mean it really, really, really. I still don't believe you. Oh, yeah? We're going to build it. And we're going to build it on time, and we're going to build it on budget, and then you will see. And we did. New LaGuardia Airport. I don't believe it. Get in your car, drive down the Grand Central Parkway, and look at it. It is undeniable. So these successes, these proof of concept, proof of capacity, is going to vindicate public support. And once New Yorkers feel that drive again and feel that confidence, you watch what we can do. And this program is undeniable. I'm not spending a lot of time saying to the public, trust me, trust me, trust me. We're just going to do it. And then they will see it. And seeing is believing. And that's the next step. Making it happen quickly, efficiently, effectively, on time, on budget. Show government can work. And dispel all that apathy and all that cynicism and skepticism. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you, and God bless you.